This video is quite like no other I've ever made, because this week I will be playing an ATP Challenger tournament on grass, and I've never played on grass before. The only time I ever was around grass courts was 10 years ago in Halle in Germany, where I got to take a pretty cool photo, I'll say, and personally witnessed the GOAT having a fun practice, and that was quite special. But this time I would be the one competing on grass, and that would be an incredible experience. But first, I had to get from Ajaccio, France, where I played my last tournament, all the way to Nottingham in the UK, and that would be quite the trip.
Alright guys, the time is 4:48 AM. This is the start of a wild trip which could end terribly wrong, or it could go well. It really, I don't think there's any in between, but yeah. Destination Nottingham, going to play my first ever tournament on grass. Alright, so we are currently at Paris Bouvet Airport, probably the most unknown Paris airport of them all. We had to switch from Orly to go all the way to here, and from here we're flying directly to Birmingham, after which I'm taking a taxi or a train to get to the club. So we'll see how that goes.
I managed to arrive at the club at 4:30 PM, so around 12 hours after starting my journey, but had no time to sit and rest because I had a practice court at 5, and they started for maintenance at 6, so I only had 1 hour. Usually I get to tournaments much earlier and prepare properly, but this time it was last second since I played my last match in Ajaccio on Friday and had to play here on Sunday. So here I am having my first practice ever on grass less than 24 hours before my match. It did not feel as difficult as I had envisioned so far. Obviously we're just rallying from the middle here, but I felt the ball quite good and the bounce was lower than usual but pretty consistent. And even just the practice courts looked really nice. I was a bit unsure how I would play on grass because I have a decent serve, can slice fairly well, and I'm aggressive, so that'll be positive. But I also have never moved on grass courts before and couldn't really slide. I'm not great at the net and my swings are quite big, so those would definitely be downsides. Right from the beginning I was trying to focus on staying more grounded with my feet and not jump around too much with my forehand, similarly to how I was doing in Mexico at high altitude. That will help me be steady on the shot and hit it clean. We carried on with playing cross court on both sides, as in a standard training, and on the backhand definitely had to try out the backhand slice as well, because I assumed that would come in handy. We then went on to do volleys, overheads and serves. Nothing really different there than a normal court, just getting used to the references. And then the returns is where I probably had to get adjusted a bit more. Was I gonna hit it, slice it, where I was gonna position myself and all that stuff. In the end we were also able to play a few points, although I don't have videos of it. But that was useful to try and put all I thought about into practice.
My first practice on grass today was pretty good actually, felt better than expected. You know, the bounce was not that low. The bounce was pretty decent. Obviously I had to stay a bit lower than on hard court and obviously clay court, but overall not bad, and felt great on the court. Playing tomorrow's second match, let's get it.
The next day it actually rained and matches were cancelled the whole day.
We got a nice players lounge here. They're fixing the center court.
So I spent it pretty much exploring around the site, taking a look at the match courts and how they were doing maintenance. You know, being grass, it was quite unique how they were handling the courts. I did also get a practice in, but on hard court indoor, so not quite the same, but better than nothing. After that, I went back to the hotel and did some recovery with my Normatec boots. The next morning, I was second match on, and as usual, I did my explosive routine in the gym to get pumped for the match and get the muscles nice and ready. It actually rained a little bit that morning too, and matches were delayed by an hour. And the problem was that they didn't open practice courts, so we had to warm up on hard courts. I finally got on the court, and my opponent was Louis Maxton, a great British player who plays college tennis for TCU, which is pretty much the best team in the US. He was ranked around 1100 with very few tournaments played, but had a UTR actually higher than mine, of around 13.7. He was definitely more used on grass than I was, so it was going to be a very tough match. I tried using this 5-minute warm-up way more than usual to feel the ball and the bounce, and use that as a mini practice to get adjusted to the grass. Because again, the past day and a half, I only practiced on hard court, so every extra shot was going to help a little bit. Shortly after, it was go time. A decent return to start off, and that gives me the first point. This time the return is a bit short, and he approaches to my backhand side, but with the knee down the line I pass him. And I'm forced by him there, and 3 break points to start. Yet another miss, and I'm up a break. first point I immediately get a chance to approach the net, although my first volley is not great at all. A little exchange here as I'm running side to side, and in the end we're both back again and I go for this forehand line. This time he approaches and the pass doesn't come out of my strings and he closes the volley. At the beginning I was very out of breath, not sure if it was the fact that I couldn't slide and had to take a lot of extra steps when changing directions or braking, or maybe the tension and excitement, I'm not sure. I miss a forehand here and it's low 30. I ace him, or so I thought, because that is somehow called out and I have to play with a second serve. I'm trying to play my game here and be aggressive moving him side to side, but in the end I'm the one missing. A carbon copy of his first service game then, but he misses the return there. Here trying to save another break point. The approach in the end does it and he misses the lob. Just out with the slice there and I'm safe at deuce. So far in terms of feel for the ball I was feeling fairly well. I was hitting clean for the most part and could also change the direction of the ball without too much trouble. Moving was quite different obviously, you couldn't slide or put too much weight on the ground when on the run. You had to take a lot of little extra steps to slow down. The second passing shot here goes through him, and now I have a game point. I nearly fall on that forehand, but the rally carries on. A little bit too jumpy on his forehand, and sure enough it goes out. Normally I like when my opponents just chip their return in the middle of the court, but here it wasn't as good as on hard court because the bounce was still low, and I had to work the ball. Great inside in here, as he leaves it short and I take advantage to go inside out and earn myself a chance to go 2-love. And with that missed return, I seal it. The next game I'm very quickly 40-love down before this return winner. But a missed return follows, so it's 2-1. Look at the hold serve now, and on TV they seem to rally a lot on grass nowadays, but I assumed that at a lower level that would happen less, and this match there were quite a lot of 1-2s. Inside in forehand here gives me the first point. .30-love up here, and I look to open up the court nicely here with a wide serve, and then hit clean inside out. A terrible drop shot attempts and he gets there comfortably but actually misses, so I'm 3-1. On his serve things were a bit different because he was in control of the point much more and would get me to miss more because of it. On grass, serve was quite important, and to be honest, the surface itself wasn't overly fast, but just being down in the point made it really hard to turn it around and win it. That forehand landed just in, but soon after it's 40-15 and he holds with the net strap. He would slice the backhand almost all the time, both in returns and doing the rally as well. But as wind started to pick up a little bit, it was difficult to give much angle and pace to the dead ball. I go inside in pass like the first game, but he knows it's coming. A great forehand behind me here, just leaves me watching. I need to try and rescue this game now. I approach to the wrong side, but I'm there, and close a good volley. Big serve tee to start off this point, and the usual slice return, but big forehand to go 30-all. Most important point of the match so far here. Immediately aggressive with the forehand cross, and stick to that side for the next shot before deciding to switch line. But on the run, I missed the forehand. I'm forced to defend breakpoint now. The approach, and on the run he hits this insane passing shot cross court. These are the kind of situations where you're supposed to dive, but having never played on grass, it never even crossed my mind, but I probably could have got that volley there if I did it. He's 30-15 up the next game, and momentum is definitely on his side, but I want to find an extra gear now and not let him get away. I try to remain aggressive with the forehand here, although with the wind and some nerves I was not hitting that clean anymore. As you can see, some of my shots landing very short, but nonetheless I do get back on track with some good depth and direction. And eventually find the approach here. I make the volley and on the run, he gets there, but I still take the point. 30-all. Again here, not the cleanest hit with the forehand, as timing is a bit off now. the return on the net trap, and he takes the game. For the first time I'm down this match, but I start the game with an ace. I don't know if you can sense it as well, but I'm losing a bit of confidence in my shots, and aside from the win, I'm not entirely sure why. So far so good here with this forehand, but you can see something is off and I miss it. A big serve tee and I'm ready to hit a big forehand here, but the ball stops and the bounce is low, so I kinda just push it and rush to the net, which is not something I typically do, and that's why I don't. This time I'm successful though, and make it to 30 all. Second serve start here, so not ideal, but nonetheless it's a neutral rally. One of the fewer free errors by him here gives me a chance to take it 4 all. Just out with the approach though, so it's deuce. A good pass by him coupled with a terrible volley attempt, and he has a break point. The wind really picks up here, leaving this ball very short, and for once I close the volley nicely. Here we go, another chance to go 4 all. This mass is just enough at the end, as I'm able to take that game. Now let's see if I can break him. It was weird, I would go points where I was hitting normal and clean, and then others it just felt like my timing was completely off. Alright, now fighting this game to stay in the set. We get into this longer rally for grass court standards, and I want to push him outside with the backhand side, but as I go there, I just miss wide. This is another heavy mistake as I'm low 30 now. A good serve wide can maybe help me here, but he makes the return fairly deep. A big shank with the forehand and it's low 40. And here, out of ideas really, yet another free error and the set is gone. It was a bit upsetting because aside from that game where he broke me back mid first set, I feel like it didn't really do too much. Obviously he's more used on grass and knows probably the limits of that and doesn't miss certain shots trying to do too much like I do. But nonetheless I think I lost the set mainly due to my unforced errors. And inside the court it felt really difficult finding a solution to that. He holds the first game, but I was far from giving up. I'm 30 love up here, and after the approach line, I close the smash in questionable footwork. A good cat and mouse point to go 1 all. He serves a foot out, but it doesn't get called, so we play on. One thing I've noticed actually is up to now I literally haven't missed a single backhand aside from returns. Good point by him there, and it's 15 all. Another short return and another approach, but once again very neat backhand. Chance to earn a break point here, off a second serve as well. This backhand just stays in and I move around, but missing the net with the forehand. And looking at this after as a whole, I should have just played extra backhands across the whole match so far, instead of moving around with the forehand and looking for something extra. But now it's 30 all and I still had a chance to earn a break point. Forehand line here, pretty good. I want to hit the inside in, but once again I miss it and I can't seem to understand why. And then the forehand winner gives him the game. It was weird because, again, the points I was winning felt completely normal, clean hits and big forehands and all. And then my mistakes were complete mishits, and for the entire point I felt like drunk. There was no in between. A great and unexpected, if I may add, backhand down the line here takes him to 15-30. Another second serve and he gets me on the run straight away. I have to stay in this point no matter what. But like I said earlier, once you are on the run on grass, it's really difficult to get out of it. And sure enough, he closes the point at the net. A good approach cross court here. And he hits a pass line. And live I could have sworn it was deep, like 100% sure. And I don't know, looking at the replay as well, I think it was more out than in. But either way, no chance to challenge that. So I'm down a set and a break now. 15-all, and when I played short, he wasted no time to come to the net, but once again my backhand saving the day in this case. Let's see if it comes to the rescue again here, but I can only lift up a lob. And a 30-all, a very good clean point by him, not much I could do. An ace wide and a well fought game, but he still takes it. Still, I wasn't giving up. And there was also something special about playing on grass. Despite my issues with it, it was still awesome visually, and in terms of atmosphere, it was just unique and not something you get every day. So I still wanted to live the experience to the fullest and play the most on it as possible. And yeah, I'm able to hold that last game and want to see if I can get a break point after not getting close to it since the first game of the match. Some weird bounce, or not bounce I should say, kinda gives him the opening to close the game and go up 5-2. Pretty windy there as you can see this game, and I miss a 4 wide after serving, low 30. See, when I played points like these, it felt completely normal, but then other times I felt like a stranger on the surface. Trying to stay relatively calm and steady with these inside outs here, before I forget about it and overhit the inside in, giving him 2 match points. Fast to a big target there, and he hits the forehand just long. Right on the line there, and it's back to deuce. But I miss, I think, my first backhand, and he has another match point. But another missed return and a stay alive. The goal this time was simple: don't miss and don't overdo it. Volley winner to survive this game, and now it was on him to serve it out. Honestly, if I had 2 backhands this match, I would have won already. And I'm glad I didn't turn around to hit that usual weak inside-in pass this time. Anyway, 15-all shortly after. And a good serve +1 by him. Really hoping that goes in and the wind pulls it back somehow, but that doesn't happen. So it's 2 more match points. I knifed his pass down the line with the slice that I learned from my broken wrist days, and he can make the volley. 4th match win for my opponent. Not often you see a 20-ball rally on grass, but he misses and I survive once again. But of course, the ace at deuce. Big serve here and I somehow make this return. But I'm so far back and try to lob him, but that goes nowhere near the court, and that's a match.
Game, set and match, maxed. 2 sets to love.
1 break and 1 break against an experienced opponent is not about a result, honestly, but if I was a bit more careful and patient at times, I could have taken at least a set. And also didn't serve too well, not too many first serves, and couldn't hit my spots as well as I wanted to. I feel like that could have taken me out of trouble in many situations.
Yeah, it wasn't our day today, unfortunately. Felt like I was a little bit too aggressive sometimes towards the end. I was trying to do too much with the forehand like I usually like to do on hard courts. But I don't know, and I think I learned this now, and I'm upset that I didn't get to figure it out during the match, but I should maybe just ride a little bit more, put some balls in. Don't be as aggressive with my forehand straight away, maybe just wait 1 or 2 more balls in general, even if I thought it was the right one straight away. Just because I thought I was missing too much, and then when I started shanking the forehand, it was just not good enough, honestly, and was giving away too many points. And also obviously had chances, I was up a break. I feel like he played a really good game. I mean, 2 misses from me, but 2 really good shots from him, the forehands and the passing shot to break me back. So that was also a little bit upsetting. And played a poor last game out of the first set. That's obviously when the forehand started missing a bit too much with that, and gave away kind of the game. I thought it was close. It's still close, He was obviously more used to playing on grass for sure. You could just see after the first couple games, he was more secure, but yeah.
Either way, I was glad to have come and play this tournament, and the next morning I was actually on court practicing again on grass, because my flight was in the afternoon. And this was obviously good fun, but also would be useful for the next time I come here to play on grass, since there's nowhere I can really practice on the surface in Italy. I felt like every minute spent here I learned new things about how to adapt and play better. And since I didn't get to hit much on it before my match, I figure I would use the chance and set up a practice. Also because this kind of atmosphere in place doesn't really happen or come around too often. It kind of felt like a mini Wimbledon for me, so I was still very happy to be there despite having lost. And being on court was much more fun than just doing nothing for an entire morning would have been. I also had an hour to watch some matches to try and see how the experts played, and that was also great fun. Now though, it's time to sign off. Thank you so much for watching this video and for the support as usual. See you next time.